Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over Spawn for Spawn Sundays, where we pick up with Spawn number 44 and Spawn number 45. And this is another two-part storyline where we see Spawn killing an angel. Yeah, you heard that right. So let me explain, because with Angela out of the way, you now have other angels wanting to go after Spawn, because if they do kill him off, well, it'll be a high score, a very high ranking kill. But on top of that, heaven and hell are enemies. And so with Spawn being out there and him being a hell spawn, of course you have angels wanting to go out there and hunt him down. Now we do pick up with a new angel, and her name is Tiffany. And with Tiffany around, you have Tiffany saying, listen, with Angela out of the way, I can now be the best one, the best angel out of all of us. And we kind of find out that Tiffany is a tad bit jealous of Angela, because Tiffany did have the higher scores, the better grades, but unfortunately Angela got all the fame. And so this is Tiffany saying, I'm going to do the one thing she did not do, which is kill off Spawn, Al Simmons. And once she does that, she believes all the fame Angela had will go to her. Now, when it comes to Tiffany, she did not get permission to go out into Earth and hunt down Spawn. But she says, who cares? Because I'm doing God's work, but at the same time, I'm cleaning up Angela mistakes. We then jump over to Spawn, and we see Spawn still recovering after his latest battle against Curse. Because remember, when it came to Curse, Curse was this character who believed that he was doing God's work. That's all you need to know. But when it came to Curse, he grabbed Spawn and began to dissect Spawn, thinking that he'll learn more about Spawn and how Spawn bodies work. And once he learned everything about Spawn, he'll be able to kill off hell spawns left and right, like Spawn. Except Spawn was able to break free and kill off Curse. Unfortunately though, Spawn had to use a lot of energy to put his body together, but his suit is also kind of traumatized because what they had went through thanks to Curse. And so he's trying to regain all the energy that he had to use to put his body back together, but to also stop Curse as well. Unfortunately, Tiffany is on her way to hunt Spawn down to kill him off. We then get an update on Sam and Twitch. Now remember, Sam and Twitch are two cops, or they were two cops for the NYPD. Unfortunately, they were trying to bring down their boss, Sheriff Banks, and they were able to actually do it, except before they did that, well, they got fired by him. And so when he killed himself, once all the evidence came out that he was a crooked person, unfortunately, they're still out of a job. And when it comes to Twitch, he's freaking out because he has a wife and kids to take care of. And he's wondering how long will the money last until he is unable to actually take care of his family. Now for Sam, it's more of, hey, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna sit here, eat my pizza, eat my food. My place is messy, whatever. But I know sooner or later I'll get something. They're both depressed. It's just that they're going at it in different kinds of ways. But getting back over to Spawn, while you have Spawn still trying to recover after his latest battle against Curse, well, like I said earlier, Tiffany does appear and she is ready to kill Homeboy off. Like I said, she is ready to kill Homeboy off. Now, this is a mixture of, you know what, I want to be better than Angela, but at the same time, I want to kill off Spawn, this hell creature, because hell is our mere enemies. And so she's going at it when it comes to fighting against Spawn. And Spawn has no idea what in the world is going on, because the last angel he met was Angela. And technically, they were on good terms when he last saw her. Not the greatest terms, but like, hey, you know what, we'll be okay for now. And so when it comes to Tiffany, he's all like, great, another angel is after me and I have no idea where this could go because I got lucky with the last one, Angela. This one right here, I don't think I'll get that lucky. And matter of fact, Homeboy is right because she is here to kill him off. We then pick up with Violator. Now remember, Violator was created alongside with Spawn by one person, Malbolgia. And technically, when it comes to Violator, he is used by Malbolgia as a way to kind of train Hellspawns when they're on Earth. Now, when it comes to Violator, he does not like Al Simmons at all. And so besides trying to actually train Spawn, he's trying to kill off Spawn and just go ahead and send him back to hell. Now, when it comes to Violator, he loves to torture Spawn, and he has a new way of doing it. Why not go after the people that he cares for the most? That will be Wanda, his ex-wife, Terry, her husband, but also his best friend, and Wanda's grandmother, and Wanda's and Terry's child. He's trying to find different ways to hurt Spawn, and technically, he's finding them. But here's the thing, because when it comes to Violator, recently he had teamed up with Jason Wynn, the bad guy who had killed off Spawn 5 years ago. And so now the two of them are working together to go after the loved ones of Spawn. And the question is, what is Jason doing to the loved ones as a way to affect Spawn? But to go ahead and wrap up just the first chapter of the storyline, getting back over to Tiffany, but also Spawn, Tiffany's main goal is to go ahead and just cut off the head of Spawn. Because once she does that, well, you know what? That means Spawn will be dead. He'll be killed off and the day will be saved for the angels. And so with Spawn still trying to recover the energy that he had lost thanks to Curse, it seems like she might be able to actually pull it off and cut off his head. And we could have a dead Spawn here very soon. And so when we jump into the final chapter for today's storyline, well, we pick up with Tiffany getting ready to cut off Spawn's head. And matter of fact, she does it. And she believes that, okay, I killed off Spawn. I actually won. I did something that Angela could not do. Well, of course we all know he is the hero of the book. There's no way Homeboy is going to die that easily in a two-part storyline like this. And so you have Spawn kind of like, nope, I tricked you. I made you believe that you had cut off my head. In reality, you did nothing to me at all. And so the battle continues on. And while you have the battle continue on, this is where you have Spawn begin to bounce back. He's back at full strength, where he is able to fight back against Tiffany, and it's going to lead to her death. But before we are able to see the end of that battle there, we have to jump back over to Sam and Twitch just real quickly. And the reason why, because you have Twitch really showing that he is very worried about the idea of not being able to support his wife and kids. And honestly, I don't blame him, because you know, you're trying to be that supporting husband, making sure that your family is taken care of, and you just lost your job, and your job was a source of money that was coming into the household. And so for Twitch, he is very worried about what could happen to his family. And this is where you see Sam being kind of like that big brother, that best friend, because you have Sam say, listen, I was able to put some money on the side to give you right now to kind of help pay your bills. But what I want to do with you is to open up our own detective agency, meaning that we do not work for anybody but ourselves. You and I will be partners again, and we'll solve cases on our own without the idea of having a boss over us and trying to use us in bad ways. And this is a way for them to kind of continue to be able to bring some money in. But getting back over to Spawn, who's fighting against Tiffany, their fight does go back and forth for a few pages. Now, here's the thing, because while you have Spawn and Tiffany fighting against one another, Spawn gets a new power, and that is the Black Dispersal. And when it comes to the Black Dispersal, Spawn is able to summon the dark creatures of the night, and he had marked Tiffany. And so while the two characters were fighting against each other, well, Tiffany got seriously injured to the point where she is unable to fight back against the creatures of the night. And so the young angel is killed off. She is eaten alive by wolves, bears, and snakes. Just like that, Spawn was able to deal with his new angel problem and go on with his life. But we have to jump over to Wanda, because she's at the doctor, because in our last video she got a bad cough. and she was wondering if she was getting sick. Now, we were wondering if Jason Wynn and Violator had did something to her as a way to get to Spawn. And so she may be okay or like not that sick, but later on it could get very serious. Now, the doctor tells her, yeah, you know what? You do have a bad cough. Your throat is sore. You could have some kind of infection. Don't worry. I'll give you some medicine and everything is going to be a-okay. But when it comes to Terry, it is completely different. Now remember, Terry is the old best friend of Al Simmons, but now he's married to Wanda, Al Simmons' ex-wife. But when it comes to Terry, recently, he has been trying his best to bring down Jason Wynn, the bad guy who killed off Al Simmons 5 years ago. Now, Terry has no idea that Jason had killed off Al Simmons, but when it comes to Terry, he realized that Jason is up to something. And so Terry had transferred over to Jason's department to hopefully bring him down, to find some evidence to bring him down. But just like Wanda, Terry has also been coughing, except his cough is a whole lot worse. And so we're left to believe that sooner or later, something big and serious is going to happen to Terry because of Violator, but also because of Jason Wynn. The ending of this book is really more of Spawn being able to get back to Rat City, or of course his area of New York. And once he does arrive, he is confronted by Cogliastro, and you have Cog tell him one more time that he needs to train his costume, because Spawn costume is alive. It is a symbiote, but at the same time, they have to work together, but Spawn has to be the master, not just the host. And that has been a very huge problem for Spawn recently. But on top of that, thanks to Curse dissecting both Spawn and his suit, well, the suit has gone through a very traumatized moment, and so it's going crazy and controlling Spawn. And so you had Cog say, sooner or later, you are going to have to be the master, because if you don't become the master, it will take over you, and that could lead to more problems down the road. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see you next time. Later.